tape right now because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden is the best Biden ever.
I don't know if you saw this poll. So True the Vote tweeted out, breaking, a new Rasmussen poll that surveyed U.S. likely voters and asked them their citizenship status. They found statistically significant portion of non-citizens were voting in prior elections. What? So, oh, this is all, I can't read this. Blurry. How?
A combined total of 94% of U.S. citizens said they voted for Donald Trump or Joe Biden in the 2020 election. But what's this? A combined total of 91% of people who said they weren't U.S. citizens also voted. Look, you add another candidate, 97% say they voted for somebody. These people say they're not citizens. And 79% of people who weren't sure whether they were U.S. citizens also said they voted for somebody. Now, I can tell you.
So that sounds important, right? That people who consider themselves not citizens, he said that 95% of them said they voted for somebody. And that 75% of the people who weren't sure if they were citizens said that. Let's listen to that again. A combined
total of 94% of U.S. citizens said they voted for Donald Trump or Joe Biden in the 2020 election.
Okay.
But what's this? A combined total of 91% of people who said they weren't U.S. citizens also voted. Look, you add.
So these people who self-identify as not citizens, he's saying 91% of people in this poll who said they were not citizens said they voted for either Donald Trump or Joe Biden. That's what he just said. Okay.
Another candidate, 97% say they voted for somebody. These people say they're not citizens. And 79% of people who weren't sure whether they were U.S. citizens also said they voted for somebody. Now, I can tell you that is stunning and incredible. And you say, all right, well, maybe there were only 3 of them and this is just noise. Let's go all the way to the top. Out of a sample of 2,466 U.S. likely voters, a combined total of 222 of them said they were not citizens or not sure. That's roughly 10%. So I think it's 9%. Like, that is a statistically significant and major portion of the people who tell us that they are U.S. likely voters.
Likely voters. So this is Rasmussen. That's the guy, Mark Mitchell. He's a head pollster at Rasmussen Reports. That was him talking. So 10% of the people they polled said they were not citizens or weren't sure if they were citizens. Huh. And that they also said that they had voted and were likely to vote this time. What? What? And according to Rasmussen, that is statistically significant. I would think 10% of the people. So here's what's a little less alarming. In the battleground states, a little more than 1% of likely voters say they're not U.S. citizens. While somewhat fewer, less than 1%, 0.85% to be precise, answer that they are not sure. So that's roughly 2% of the people in the battleground states say they're not citizens or not sure if they're citizens. These numbers are significantly larger among voters nationally, where more than 5% say they are not U.S. citizens and a little less than 4% are not sure if they're citizens or not. These are people who are voting. What? Isn't that kind of shocking?
Yeah, and I'm mostly shocked by somebody that, I vote, but I'm really not sure if I'm a citizen. What? How do you decide that you're going to vote, but I'm not sure I'm a citizen?
So my producer Malcolm makes some good points. I'm going to read them to you. He says, I want to go on record that I'm skeptical of this poll. Not that it doesn't reflect what people tell pollsters, but just that people can't be relied on to self-report their citizenship status. I suspect that when questioned by a pollster, there are a statistically significant number of Americans who don't know that they're citizens. Really? 10%? Really? Come on. And they've somehow figured out how to vote, but they don't know that if they're citizens or not. He says, and according to this poll, this is from Malcolm, according to this poll, a significant majority of these non or don't know if they are citizens voted for Trump. And if you think people can't be that dumb, well, they just admitted to committing a felony to a pollster. Because that's what voting, if you're not a citizen, it's I'm pretty sure it's a felony to vote. That'd be voter fraud, right? This poll is actually a scathing indictment of the American public education system. That's according to Malcolm, my producer. You would think this would be like everybody would be talking about this. Isn't that something that everybody's not talking about this? I think it's remarkable. But I get those caveats. So a lot of those people, he says, significant majority of these people voted for Trump. Do you think that those people are just dumb? Do you think that they're just dumb? Do you think they are citizens? They didn't ask a follow-up question. I get that's according to, as far as I know, they didn't ask a follow-up question about that. They just asked them to self-report if they're citizens. And they said, a lot of them said no, and then 4% of them said, I don't know if I am. That's wild. Okay.
Follow-up question. Do you know what country you're in?
Yeah, follow-up question. Do you know what country you're in? Yeah.
What year?
Do you know how you would verify if you're a citizen? Well, if you have a birth certificate. I never even thought about that I wasn't a citizen. You get a social security number, right? Doesn't that mean you're a citizen? Do you have to be a citizen to get social security?
I thought you had to be a citizen to get a social security number.
Well, my birth certificate says I was born here, so if you're born here, you're a citizen automatically, right? Can you get social security if you're not a citizen? Can non-citizens receive social security benefits? Yeah.
A non-citizen can get social security benefits?
Well, according to this lawfully present non-citizens of the United States who meet all eligibility requirements can qualify for social security benefits. This rule also applies to non-citizens authorized to work in the United States who got a social security number after December 2003. So, yeah.
No wonder they don't know they're not a citizen.
So, yeah, you don't need to be a citizen to receive social security. So, Okay, over to Steph.
Well, Rapid Rabbit wants to know what is a woman and what is a citizen? Thank you for that one, Rapid Rabbit. Keaton Weiss had his baby.
Yes, congratulations.
Keaton Weiss's wife had their baby. That's
I
how
think
it works
Keaton
out.
did most of the work.
And we were hoping that the baby was going to be born on Friday, Jimmy's birthday.
Yeah,
But
we were hoping.
she had to wait one more day. All right. But congratulations to that family. Thank you, Leaping Leopard. JSNA Box 313 FJB. What does FJB stand for? Oh, is that fucking Joe Biden? Is that it? That's my guess, JSNA Box. It's official. Kamala is going to be the first woman president. They're releasing all of this. He's gone. They're replacing him before weeks out. He's gone. They're replacing him before weeks out. Oh, Tiller thinks he's going to be. Well, there are people saying if the guy isn't capable of running for the president of the United States, how is he capable to continue being president?
Right.
Tiller, look at you, Tiller. Jimmy, if you could ask Carl Jung one question, what would it be?
Oh.
Kate Cott was. I was saving that for Jimmy.
I don't know.
Maybe I'll have him answer it later. Big camera 4, please. Can you do big camera 4? Big camera 4. All right, let's do big camera 4 right now while Jimmy's out of the room. Does anybody know what Keaton Weiss's new baby's name is? All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, I'm all out of them. I've read all of them today. Let me scroll down. Oh, I was going to see Rockfin. Sherelle, did you write something for Rockfin today for me, Sherelle? Oh my gosh. What are all these texts about? Ooh. All right. What? That's weird. That's weird. Hello, Steph. A case with 3-day blinds has been opened to review your issue, and our agents will be in contact as we work your case. That case was a long time ago. All right, so we'll see they're gonna contact me. Let's see what's gonna go down with that. It's Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries, let me read this to you. He wants money. Who's giving money to either the Democrat or the Republican Party? All right, I got something. Oh, I got some. Alex Jones was right. JSNA Box, thank you. And another one, August. Oh, is it August Weiss? What a sweet name, Candace Strike. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. All right, you know what? Can we go to a card? I have to let my dog out right now, so. Say Schneider, but I think and another one, August. Oh, I got scared. Keaton's baby is August, aka Augie. Nice Italian name, except he is Maltese. Okay, and it's a black screen. Oh, how weird. Something's weird going on. It's a black screen. Well, oh, and there, that was weird. Hey, I got scared. Keaton's baby is August, aka Augie. Nice Italian name, except he is Maltese. Okay, and then let's see here. If Kamala becomes president before the election, does that mean she can only serve one term? Roshi boy, no. I think a term is the key word there. Term. I think that's it. I think that is it. Oh, but that's interesting, right? Thank you for that question. All right, let's look over here. Hey, Steph and Jimmy, love the show. Been a longtime fan. Hope to see you at the next show. Si se puede. That's right. Is that Okay, we have 6 stories. Okay, so this is Kamala Harris and the Future of America by Caleb Maupin. Kamala Harris and the Future of America, an essay in 3 parts. Introductory note. What's the introductory note? This is not a biography of Kamala. The vice presidential nominee of the Democratic Party in 2020 presidential election. This is an essay about U.S. society and global politics. This text is an examination of Harris's record and life story and an explanation of the political, cultural, and psychological trends that created such a figure. Now, I just got to get to it. Are you like me where I don't read introductory notes? I just don't sometimes. I just want to get to the meat and potatoes of it. Here we go. Where did Kamala Harris come from? Any guesses in the room? Any guesses? Do you know where she came from? I think I know where she came from. Canada, right? Like that was like in her middle school, high school years. So let's see here. The decision came late, August 1st. Had been the date when vice presidential nominee of Joe Biden was to be announced, but the decision was not made until August 11th. Amid confusion and anticipation, something was happening behind closed doors. The U.S. public got to know Kamala Harris through the months of delayed decision as she appeared on almost every mainstream talk show, giggling, talking about her childhood, reflecting on her experiences with racism and her hobbies, such as cooking. That's cute. Politico had hinted that Kamala Harris would be the nominee in what appeared to be a leak, but the Biden campaign made it clear that the decision had not been yet made. Kamala had seemed to be obvious choice when Biden announced his pick, appeared in the running as if some desperate resistance to picking her was coming from various quarters within the Biden camp. In the week prior to the delayed announcement, the media had suddenly become highlighting former UN Ambassador Susan Rice as an alternative to Harris. Suddenly, the relatively unknown Los Angeles Congresswoman Karen Bass was filling the headlines as well. Karen Bass, who's done such good stuff here in No, she hasn't. All right, so almost as soon as Karen Bass' name hit the national media, she was subjected to an all-out red-baiting campaign by the press. Mainstream newspaper like Washington Post and New York Times were pointing out that his potential vice presidential nominee had visited Cuba with the Venceremos brigades during the 1970s and praised Fidel Castro. Much like months before the Bernie Sanders, these oddly worded press articles framed Bass as cozy with Washington's geopolitical opponents and thus unfit for office. Okay, so it's interesting that they say he was going to make his announcement August 1st. And when is she going to announce who she's going to have as a running mate? And I think there's 3. So who are the top 3 that are in the running right now? I want to say Schneider, but I think I might be mixing up the name. And then Gabby's husband. So somebody from Pennsylvania, are they still, who are the, who's running mates for Kamala? Is the Pritzker, is he out of the running? Let's see. I think he is. Josh Shapiro, Mark Kelly, they're talking about. There's a third one. Here's the short list. This is from Fortune. Accept all cookies. Should I accept those cookies? Oh, why won't... Oh, I'm supposed to sign in? Oh, come on. Do you have any names on the running mates? Let's see here. All right. No, I'm leaving. I don't want to sign in. Okay. The quiet bond that Kamala Harris forged with 3 VP contenders. Come on. And that's New York Times. I can't open it because I'm not a subscriber. All right. Jimmy's back. Let's see here. Democrat. Okay, here are the names. Shoot. Looks like Tim Waltz, Mark Kelly, and Josh Shapiro.
Okay.
So Mark Kelly, there seems to be some scuttlebutt about some business that he was participating in. All right, back to Jim.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletter. Just visit
Isn't it swell? The memes make themselves. They found a rabbi hole, tunnels and all. There's Jews in the walls. Isn't it bliss? The rabbinical grace soiling the mattresses. Well, let me tell you. If I were Rabbi Shmuley and diddle 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 digga digga diddle diddle dum, all day long I'd diddle little bums. If I were a Shmuley man, I'd peddle all my dildos, dreidel dildos, selling dildos with my daughter and her mum. If I were a Jewish Shmuley man, I'd be digging with a dildo in my bum. I'd wear a grotesque nose and go grab some goyim right on the nipple with a pinch. A Shabbos lap dance brace for the youngest mensch.
At this time, more than any other time, you know, revolution is necessary. It is necessary. Not only based on what has happened with the MOVE organization, you know, the babies that have been murdered, you know, MOVE adults that have been murdered, bombs being dropped on us, but past that to what is happening with all black people, so-called minority people, you know, money poor people. You know, this government, as has been said earlier, has waged war on us. But you know, something about us, particularly here in America, we don't really understand that. You know, we don't really know what war is. You know, for black people, for poor people, that people see as good, that they wasn't forced to do, that they didn't do to try to keep black people appeased, you know, and calm down so that black people wouldn't riot. A prison situation is a crystallized example of that. You can make phone calls in prison. They have movies in prison, but they don't have those things because they just want to be nice to prisoners. They have those things because they know damn well if they don't have, you know, people being able to contact their family, if they don't have, you know, facilities for people to sit there and watch movies, people are going to be frustrated, upset, and they're going to direct that frustration at them prison administrators, and they're going to have riots on their hands. You know, they're going to have people in them prisons turning them prisons out. That's why they have movies. That's why they have access to phones the way they do. And a stop to it when we don't like it, or encouraging it when it's something that's in our interest. You know, we have to call the shots. The people have to take the reins of this system and start dictating, you know, what we need, what needs to be done. And, you know, taking the initiative to do it ourselves. We can't rely on this system. I mean, you know, don't people see what's happening? Every single confrontation that MOVE people have been involved in, every single issue, you know, oppression, economic issues, every single issue facing our people, you know, is something that can be dealt with very, very simply. All people got to do is make their wishes known. All people have to do is stand up and say, listen, we're not accepting that. Unity is the key. Unity is the key to revolution. Revolution ain't nothing to be afraid of. It ain't nothing to shy away from. Revolution, contrary to what officials, you know, this system and those backing the officials running this system, you know, want people to believe that revolution means violence, you know, means blood in the street. I'm saying it can get to that point, but it don't have to be violent. You know, when people come together and take a strong stand on an issue, this government don't have no choice but to listen. Where you think they get their authority from? They don't have no power, but they do have authority to do certain things. Where you think they get it from? They get it from us, from the people. You know, they get it from us accepting the things that they do to be done to stop it. Then you have some people who want to then turn around and say, yeah, well, you know, it's the best we have, and want to make excuses. The time for excuses is over. It's over. You know, every man, woman, and child has to be involved in this revolution. Not only has to be, but is, whether you want to be or not. I mean, our babies gave their lives for this revolution on May 13th. You know, men, women, and children were murdered. And not just move babies, you know. What about all of the young men, women, you know, children 8, 9 years old shot down on the street by cops, you know, by drug pushers? I mean, you know, where do you think that mentality comes from? It comes from this system, from the mentality of this system of getting over, you know, making a quick buck, you know. I'm saying that's where that needs to be done to stop it. Then, you know, what I want people to really, really understand is that it's past time. It is past time for poor people, black people, you know, to realize that this system has failed you. It has failed you. You can't get nothing from it. And what people got to do is withdraw our support from it and start doing for ourselves. That's what we got to do. You know, how long are people going to sit back and beg, you know, this government to do what's right when for hundreds of years all you've gotten is a slap in the face? All you've gotten is this government kicking your ass. That's all. That's all black people have ever gotten from this government.